Welcome to Comics Covered, the show where Matt and I, the co-founders of CoverPrice.com, talk about cool things that happened in the comic book world. And Matt, what are you doing wearing a hat? That's my thing.
It is your thing, but I didn't shave my head today, so it's a little scraggly.
Matt goes from no hair
scraggly
to
being like there's a hint of hair, which is no dice, not in my book.
When I don't shave my head, I have no hair as well, and whenever I don't shave it and it starts showing,
I'm hideous right now.
I always feel so old. I'm like, oh my god, male pattern baldness. But I think both Matt and I went bald in like our 20s, so we're very used to it now.
I went bald at the age of 13.
Yeah, Matt was born bald and stayed bald.
That's right.
He's alopecia.
I'm pretty much Caillou.
Caillou? What's weird? What's that a reference for?
You don't know Caillou? He's the bald Canadian kid that the animated character. Caillou.
Okay, if you know Caillou,
I'm gonna have to add a Caillou clip because now I kind of feel like we need one.
We need some bald clips. And to everyone else who's watching, thank you so much for joining. Sorry we didn't do a show last week. We had some
last 2 weeks we didn't do a show.
Yeah, we're pretty inconsistent. Sorry about that. But we are going to get better at that. I was out of town, and then I think last week Matt had some stuff scheduling pop up, so we had to throw things around. But
yeah, it's just been a couple of busy weeks, which is, hey, that's how it goes sometimes. So
yeah. So we have we titled this new feature, and Matt and I were just saying it's not really a new feature, but it's a pretty cool thing that we're doing on the website, which we'll get into.
That's called clickbait. So,
yeah, that I think it'd be like sexier or cooler if we're going to do like actual clickbait.
Yeah, no, this is our form of clickbait. New feature?
Yeah. But thank you for understanding, guys.
I mean, it's not quite a new feature, but it is. I mean, I guess it does straddle that line. We'll get to it, and you guys can make the decision if it's cool or not. But we think it's pretty fun.
Hey, Sean's on the is in the comments.
Big leg,
nice. Hey, Big Leg.
There we go.
And all the usual.
If you're not following Big Leg on eBay Live, do so because he have like really good variants and other books to that live stream. So yeah, Leg, drop in your eBay Live link. Feel free to
put in your OnlyFans.
Yeah, well, you should see his OnlyFans.
Oh no, I have.
It's effectively the same. It's the same handle, Big Leg.
Leave it to the imagination.
That's right.
All right. Well, today, as our giveaway, we're going to do something kind of fun. We are going to do because we opened up the merch shop. Whoever wins gets to choose any T-shirt they want, and we'll send you a T-shirt. Let me show my screen real quick. So, for example, just to remind you guys, if you go to Cover Price Merch Shopify, or you just click on any of the links on the website, it's all throughout the website, you can choose any of these cool shirts. And my favorite,
the thing to focus is on there. Actually, like when you're choosing the logo color. And then when you go in, you can choose the color of the shirt to go with that logo color. So if you like a black logo, you can choose the color of the rest of the shirt. Same thing with the white, the blue, and the whatever the other color was.
My favorite is kind of that yellow black, to be honest. I think that's kind of cool. But we also have we used to have, let's see if we still have oxblood. Red on oxblood. That's the ticket right there, guys. So it's fun. It's a good quality.
That's nice.
Yeah, so we're gonna give away one of those, and hell, why don't we give away two, Matt?
Whoa, who's getting crazy tonight?
This guy.
Well, I guess we owe people like at least 2 weeks of backlog giveaways. So
thanks, Lando. But yeah, and also we're going to be over at C2E2 in a couple weeks. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff. We're doing a big eBay giveaway. And if you haven't seen our last one, so it's more of like eBay's platform doesn't let you do a giveaway per se, but we're doing a flash auction. So the price of the book won't go above like $1. But we are, same as we did with New York Comic Con, we're going to bring C2E2 to you. C2E2 to you.
There you go.
That's going to be the hashtag for us. But yeah, no, it's going to be kind of cool. Matt is in the process of getting some of this exclusives, and he might even dig into his personal collection and give away some really other cool books.
Yeah, we'll bring some fun stuff to the con. So it's it's just a nice time to be friends with eBay and be friends with C2E2 with ReadPop, and also Big Clutch is going to host the live stream. We're very incestuous with a lot of our co-hosts, and like we've had McClay on, and then McClay always has Clutch and Leg on, and
I don't know if incestuous is the right word, but okay.
No, totally. We're like all just mingled up. This show's already got going off the road.
Yeah.
Let's stop myself before it gets even worse. In terms of just getting into Landon knows Cap Canuck, as Sean said, it's the right word.
It's fair.
Do you want me to share my screen, or do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I can share my screen. Since I already got it up here.
All right, we'll just go to the main page. I always just like to jump into the top 10 and just see what was going on this week. I know there's lots of a lot of the conversations in the business are still around Diamond. Todd McFarlane possibly buying Diamond. I don't know how real that is, but who knows?
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, because I mean, I don't know why Todd would want that necessarily, but
who knows? Then we have the Stan Lee documentary that was a big focus of last week. I mean, it was a relatively quiet week in terms of comics moving, but we now we have Daredevil, which I'm enjoying. I know the last couple episodes have been a little slow. It's actually kind of funny because, in a Daredevil show, we've gotten very little Daredevil, but
they do that all the time, though. They're always like, "Oh, I'm gonna stop being Daredevil," and you're like, "But the show's called Daredevil."
it's like that moment, man. I wish I had this clip down, but it's the Jurassic Park, Jeff Goldblum, where he's like, "There's supposed to be dinosaurs on this dinosaur ride, right?" And that's pretty much how I feel like when I watch that show. I'm like, "Come on, just give me Daredevil swinging around for an hour every week, and that's all I want. There could be zero plot, just him swinging around. That's it. That's all I need."
What did you think about him swinging around, literally though? This is the first time we've actually seen.
Oh, I loved it. I literally watched it 10 times. I'm not kidding. It was one of my favorite things I've seen in comic book form. In a very long time. I would have liked to have seen a little bit of the whipping around in front of the lens, usually when you see it on a comic book cover, where it's kind of all whipping around.
You mean the rope is going all crazy around him? And
right,
stuff?
Right. You kind of just see it, yeah, looping around stuff. But it was fun. I mean, I enjoyed that opening.
That's a good point, Derek.
Daredevil is a swinger. Totally.
We did say Daredevil is a swinger. Yeah.
You see, we set a tone for this show, and then people just run with it.
A bad example is what we are.
Invincible is I'm bad because I'm still on episode 3 of season 2.
Dude.
I know. So I'm a little behind on Invincible, but people are swearing that Invincible season 3 is amazing.
It's so good. My little nephew actually was like, Uncle John, I want to read more Invincible, and I was like, you do? And I gave him I have all 3 compendiums. I gave him the compendium 1. I'm like,
and he cried a little bit as you did.
I was like, oh, his name's Levi. Levi, if you're watching this, hey. You read that.
You look into the top 10. There's it's obviously last week it was taken over. I literally 10 out of the 20 books was Invincible last week, and now this week it's a little less, with just 5 or 4. Is it 4? No, I'm looking at the wrong top 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 in the top 10. Yeah. So there's a little less this week, but there's still. I mean, here's the thing that kind of blows me away. I've never seen in terms. It breaks all the rules in terms of comic book and speculation. When you look at most things die right after the trailer of whatever the first iteration is, the first season of a TV show or the first film. After that, it's pretty much just drops in value. So the fact, and then you look at the hierarchy of things, like films have that biggest spike, then TV shows like The Boys and Umbrella Academy had a good spike the first season, but animated was anything is kind of like, it's like death in terms of speculation. What was interesting about this is that it's not only an animated show, but it's in its third season, and the books all took off after the show was done.
And the book is what, like 20 years old? It's an older.
It is, yeah. Like, yeah, for sure. And what's interesting about it is that, so a lot of shops have been saying that people have been coming into kids have been coming into their shop looking to read it. Like, there was a lot of these kids are familiar with them because Invincible's been pretty heavily showcased in Fortnite for a while. Like, it's been a skin that they brought up, made available like once a year. They kind of re-release it a little bit. So you see Mark Grayson, like, as a playable skin all the time when you're in Fortnite. So a lot of them had exposure, and then now they're getting into the show, and now they want to read it. And if anything, we can like help support that to get people reading this stuff. And I think that's what really matters, is having like a really good series to go to, not just like a mini series or the onslaught, the hard. It's hard to get into Spider-Man, X-Men. Where do you start someone? Yeah. This is just start with number one, and you have 150 issues, right? Is that how long you went for? 160?
It feels like that, yeah. And you brought this point up before about the impact of video games on bringing in readership. We said that with Gwenpool, the skin, and also was it Marvel Rising? Like, it really is interesting. It really is bringing in a younger generation of watchers and readers, and it's inspiring them. Because I always kind of questioned that. Like, I always wondered, like, are the Marvel movies really bringing in your readers, or is it just the older people who already know it, who are like, comic?
They do, but it's hard. Like for those, it's really hard to know where to start. Like, as a Deadpool fan, where do you start, right? We saw it with Spikes when Gwenpool appeared in Fortnite. No one was picking up her first appearance. Some people were, people in the market knew, but people were grabbing Gwenpool 1 because it was the most accessible. They just wanted to like go with whatever the thing to read was. And so they just started with whatever was Gwenpool 1. So it is interesting as a shop, you kind of have that responsibility to lean into those things, right? Hey, did you watch the show? Here's where you start. Like, having that stuff available at your shop. I don't know how many stores do that. Maybe it doesn't work for them. But that's stuff that I would be doing is really leaning into it. I know I was watching Brian McClay's channel Beyond Wednesdays, and Dennis Barger had a really good point, like on his show. And Dennis makes people feel very different ways, but he had a really good point of like, why aren't these streamers and studios setting up, having a little table or booth like opening weekend in front of all these films that are being released, and giving away comics, or showing up to comic book shops, giving away comics, bring the cast to a comic book show like Golden Apple or something. Yeah. They did it with Anthony Mackie and a few other people.
That'd be for Daredevil, or
no, for Captain America: World Order.
Anthony Mackie. I thought you meant David Mack for some reason.
Oh no, at Midtown. Anthony Mackie showed up at Midtown.
Oh, gotcha. That's a good idea. I mean, look at what James Gunn did, right, with some of the DC trailers, where he started leading it with or doing it post or whatever with the comic books that inspired the thing. Like, what a great callback. I think everyone's so short-sighted, and they're focusing just on what they're working on, not the ecosystem that this actually comes from, the history of all this stuff.
Well, it's a great way to bring new readers in. And now we're looking at like the number one, you look at this, the number 1 and the number 11 spot are almost the same book. Well, they are the same book, but one is the second print 1 in 25. That's the number 1 spot. And then the Open Order Amazing Fantasy 15 homage.
another surprise. I mean, that's just a Disney Plus TV show.
Yeah, did you watch that at all?
I did. I watched a couple of them.
I like it. I enjoyed it.
It's fun. It's fun. It's you know, it's a not a retcon, but like a reimagination of Spider-Man and like his world and everything. And it's cool. I love it. I like the new design. I like the costume. Here, let me just go into it. I like the costume where he's got like some pneumatic kind of like air gun thing generating his webs. That was a cool take, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Knee pads. He doesn't need knee pads. But okay.
Well, one of our writers was saying who writes the top 10. He was like, yeah, they had to release this and make sure that we knew that it was an Amazing Fantasy 15 homage by adding these little blurbs.
Yeah.
like, oh, it's a homage.
Oh my! Although I had to explain that to my wife, I'm like, she's like, "Why are we watching this?" I'm like, "No, but look, this is actually related to work. Damn it, we have to watch this."
What I do like about this, and I was saying this, like this was so you can love or hate the 1 in 25 second prints, you know, but this goes to show what I like about this is it's not a virgin. And it's not a black and white version. I like that they added a little extra elements and they changed the coloring a little bit from the first print. That's something to me. So you can actually see the difference if you go back to the top 10 and just see them stacked on each other.
Well, I can just go forward and back. So here's the second print with all the speech bubbles and a little bit whatever, and then
we'll go back to the top 10. You can see. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
it's the second print's a little darker. And they moved them down a little bit, or up a little bit, and then they put in the speech bubbles, and I mean it's fun. I didn't see this book anywhere.
Yeah,
and that should hold its value for a while too. I don't see that one dropping below $100 anytime soon. And then the hot book was like this. The Last Boy.
No, this is the number 2.
Yeah, the Boom book. That was actually a fun. The Last Boy. Yeah.
Oh,
that was fun because I don't know. You know, I don't. It's Dan Panosian. He was promoting this book at Comics Pro. So we talked to him about it really briefly, but I don't know the exact premise.
Yeah, it's Peter Pan.
Yeah. But what was interesting about this book was that Boom made it available to purchase, like, for $20, and this was like a week ago. So if you were paying attention to their site, like these were available, and then they just sold out quickly because it's out of news. Yeah, and then this Batman Superman was a surprise book. I mean, there's a lot of. And you got 2 Daredevil books on here, and you got some Sonic books. Captain Canuck is moving because it's of Canadian economics. It is. It's like he was used as something. I forget. We have it in our write-up, but it was used as, you know, like a very pro-Canadian, you know, middle finger to America. So, you know, it's not to get too political, but that's what it was.
That Lando put people up.
Yeah,
to
Lando.
Poor Lando. What about this one, number 8? Is that?
So that's Mr. Mel V loved this book. Man, he was loving this book last week. It is gorgeous. I do like Ben Harvey. I do like a good Ben Harvey cover. Psylocke 1 in 50s, you know, those are always long-term good performers. Like, this book will hold its value for, you know, indefinitely, for the most part. It's kind of locked down at ratio right now, so it's decent. It all depends on supply and demand, but it's a gorgeous cover. Yeah, it should be a good book for a while.
Lando says he doesn't have it. Sure, Lando.
He is Captain Canuck.
That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to hide it so that no one catches on.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So that's kind of the top 10. In terms of our articles, we had I don't know if you guys have been watching it, but on our YouTube channel, we partnered with Izzy from Izzyverse on his YouTube channel. We do instead of Very Gary had to step away from doing a lot of these. He's still going to do some, but he got pretty swamped with buying amazing collections on a weekly basis, and we're still in love with Very and his gorgeous hair. Although I think he cut it.
No, did he?
But Izzy has stepped in, and the videos are fantastic. Izzy's done a really great job. So if you haven't watched them after the show, just check it out.
They're on the videos tab right there.
Yeah, it's not on the live, but they do premieres on Saturday mornings at 10. So basically, if you read our reflective article on Wednesday, it's the same thing, but in video format. So you can choose however you like, however you want to do this. And a lot of people get mad, like they're like, everything's down, and we try to remind people like this was the ecosystem. These were the hot books, the FOMO books of the day, whatever this time frame was. And it's important to remember that again, it's all supply and demand. These are the hot books. People buy them up, they list them, and the market gets overflowed with copies. Demand goes down, supply is still up. Those books stay locked at those prices, and they drop in value, or they just drop in value, which happens most of the time. Now, some of those rare books will buck those trends and go up in value, and not all of them do, especially if they're connected to content. All those content books die pretty quickly. It'll be nice to revisit Invincible in a year and see how these books are doing then. I would love to know if it can sustain those content bumps. Historically, they typically don't, because even Walking Dead, outside of issue number 1, a lot of those issues have dropped in value, like the first Michonne and first Governor. But that's okay. Like if you got them, hopefully you bought them for $3, $4 when they came out, and they can go up and down in value, but they'll always have significant value well over what you purchased them for. Let's just be mindful what you're buying them now. If you're buying them right now, you're buying at the prime market, and then that's where it gets a little iffy. Speculation is a hell of a drug. It is. And it's like sometimes you just want the book, and I am a huge I have done that way too many times, and sometimes you just want it, right? And you get caught up in it. Like I would be very tempted to buy that Spider-Man book. I probably would have completely ignored it, but now that it's popular, I want it. I'll admit that. But will I spend $250? No. But if I saw it someplace for $1, probably. Would I have spent $100 on it last week? No. But now, probably. It's a weird game. It's a weird game.
That's an interesting point, though, Matt, because now you have all these top 10s. What if you wanted to know if there was content? Like, how do you even go about keeping track of content? Like, let's say Berserker, for example. Is there anything happening?
We need a segue clip. Segue. All right, I gotta make a note of this.
The reason I bring that up is because if you guys go to, and this is the new feature quotes, new thing that everyone's been working on. Bobby, our editors, worked really, really hard in doing this. But if you go down from the content page,
hey, there's Izzyverse, by the way. So here, look, you can just click on his name, and it'll take you to his page, or you can give him a follow. Izzy's doing a great job. Love the videos
for sure. And so if you go to this and you say comic book adaptation and status tracker, our team, in particular Matt and Bobby, went through and basically highlighted all of these comics and where they are in their production status, because as you guys know, the price of a comic book can fluctuate throughout the development process. And I
kind of want to take just a step back before you get into here. So having worked in entertainment, I worked for a studio. It was very difficult to find information on which comic books were optioned. If you don't know, the studios and streamers love to announce when things are optioned or in development, but they do a terrible job of letting us know when things have fallen through. Because no one wants to celebrate that, of course, and you don't want to be like, oh, we dropped the ball. But it's very frustrating because a lot of people, maybe a book fell out of development 10 years ago, but you'll still see people list it in development, like in their eBay listing, right? Even though it's been 5-10 years. So we try to put everything into. We wanted to build one place to go where this is constantly updated every single day, every single week. Whenever news comes through, it's just going to this is going to be an evergreen article. It's always going to be there and always updated. So when you want to come and find out where things are, this is going to be the place to do it, because this doesn't exist anywhere on the internet except for here. So one cohesive place that has everything. And if there's missing something, you can contact Bobby. If you go all the way down the bottom, every page has this, reach out to Bobby there at that email address. So if there's if you know that something was in development and you're wondering what's going on with it and it's not on this list, he'll add it. And then what we're going to do starting next week is actually start calling studios and streamers or creators and start confirming where some of these projects are, especially if they're in active or development hell, just to confirm whether they're still moving. Just because it's kind of nice to know, what things you should, if you're a speculator or you like buying option books, if you're at a store and you're like, oh, I remember this being an option, it's like $20, but it's been canceled. You could that's something you can tell the shop. You'd be like, hey, this, or you can just not choose to buy that book. It's just one thing that'll be just helpful to everyone to find one place to go to know where things are. And while content speculation is always an iffy game, we all know that these books have sudden spikes when they're optioned and sudden spikes with a trailer. So there is some fun in speculating on some of these books. You just have to really be mindful of how much you spend and when you spend it. Because I have been left holding the bag many times when it comes to speculation. And then other times you come way ahead.
That's how you learn.
Well, Edge of Spider-Verse, I had plenty of, when that film came out, I had a bunch of those books, and that was a huge win. But then I have I don't know, I remember speculating on when Hawkeye was Ronin, and I bought a bunch of those. I still have every copy that I ever bought of that book. So it's like
week's giveaway.
I know there's a copy of the first appearance of Hawkeye as Ronin.
Yeah, that was pretty hot when that was going on. I remember that was always on the top 10.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like some of these books have short, but the book is still cool, and Ronin was still a cool character. Hawkeye as Ronin was still a cool character. Yeah. It's not worthless. It's just not worth $30-$40 like it was at its prime. It's now worth $10.
Izzy has a good point. You should create a new option called Tinian Option Spec.
Yeah, the thing that's interesting with Tinian, so there was a lot of stuff in development. And then he had so much interest, they started to create their own studio. And so now they're kind of owning their own little studio and really choosing where to put their stuff. Something's Killing the Children has been in production, so that's coming.
Well,
the thing with Netflix that drives me nuts is they go from they'll tell you that something's in development, and then you hear nothing about it, and then there's a trailer for it. It goes from 0 to 100 sometimes.
Well, that's a good example though. So you could scroll down to Something's Killing the Children. You can click on it. It'll take you to a new page. You can then go to Something's Killing the Children. You'll see all of the things that we have here as little call outs. You click on it, and we can say, it's optioned by Netflix. That was in 2023. We link back to the source article as well,
right.
So you can get full coverage if you wanted to look at it.
If you want to read more about it. And anytime there's an addition, anytime they add a writer or a director or an actor, all that stuff is tracked in there. So if you want to hey, what was the last bit of information on these projects? It'll all be there. If you want to know, because sometimes it gets hard to find this information, especially as the years progress. So hopefully this will be helpful to everyone in terms of navigating content speculation, or just if you want to know where your favorite books are, and if it was your favorite book, where it lies in development hell.
So let's go through some of the active ones. If you
what is Chavez years later still no show? Yeah. I mean, that's what. So what we do is, if a project was announced in some form in development, optioned, rights were picked up. If it's been more than 2 years, then it goes right in, or 3 years, I think. I forget what the term. I think we did 3 years. If more than 3 years, it moves over into development hell. So development hell is we don't know if it's still active or if it's dead. Development hell is just there's been no news on it, and it's most likely in this, probably not happening. But there's a lot of projects that are still being developed, even though, they're in that development hell. So we're going to go through and confirm that stuff. When we do confirm if a project is still in development, then we'll move it into active, and we'll say, hey, we talked to this creator, this studio on this date. Here's their confirmation. And then it'll be in that until 2 years, 3 years later, and they'll move back into development hell.
So we're going to
Why
start.
The Last Man would have been always in development hell.
we're going to we're going to start talking more with, like Matt said, to the publishers and creators. We actually have a couple interviews that we did. Cover Price did last week about Absolute Flash and stuff like that with the creators. So all of those are going to launch, and it just gets us closer to the creators, closer to the story, so that we can talk to you guys with more authority about like what is going on and why.
Yeah, I know. What's that, John? Sorry.
I was going to say the cool thing about like talking to the creators though is there's always a backstory that you never even realized. Like you always, every time we're talking to them, they're like, "Oh, that one book, I never knew that was going to take off. Oh, that's going, Like there's always like, oh, I did this one at night at 3 a.m, and I had to get it in the next day. I totally forgot about it. Like some random story around the cover art or even the story itself, like where it came from, that you never hear about unless you talk to the creators, and they're happy to share it. So.
Oh yeah, they're trying to figure out if they should call the show "Something's Killing the Children." Might not be a sellable name for a show. Yeah. I mean, but that's at the same time, like, because it's sensational, you lean into it. So like there was this time where we did, we were working on a film called, oh my God, what was it? Can't remember the name. Jeez Louise.
It was called
I can't remember names of anything. Oh my God. Oh, Legion. We did a movie called Legion. And it was about basically Christ as a baby has come back to Earth, and there's all these followings, and some of the angels have been sent to kind of like take him out, some of the evil angels, and they thought it was too iffy about dealing with Christianity, so they just made it some generic like person that the angels needed to get rid of. And it kind of lost all of its steam and the backstory and all the like interesting parts of it because it was too controversial. I was like, you took the most interesting things about it and diluted it, So I kind of always feel like you lean in hard. If you're gonna go with something, just lean in hard into it and take the lumps. Remember was Married with Children when we were kids, like shows like Married with Children and NYPD Blue, or like people like used to like picket those shows and have like articles in the newspaper where we're dating ourselves, but trying to get those shows canceled because it was like too much. It was too much for TV, too sensational. But anywho, I
mean, it's funny because bad press is still press, and you see that all the time where even if you're negative about something, it actually brings people into it. We see that in politics. We see that in like people on just influencers kind of trolling people. So I think, but let's go through some of these. Do you want to start with active, development hell, or canceled?
I mean, let's go through development hell, because that's always like the canceled stuff is always interesting. A lot of them we know, like Bone was canceled, and Jeff Smith was so pissed off with the experience that he's like, I'm never going to do this again. But that hasn't stopped Bone's value, so Bone is still super expensive. Bitterroots was one of those books that had such good traction, and there's been nothing for. When was the last
2021, I guess.
Yeah, well, it was progressing pretty steadily, and then it pittered out. Like it was, Regina King was the last thing. I mean, it's important to note that we had they had all the strikes. You're at the end of COVID, then you had the strikes. And right now, they just announced like companies like Spyglass Productions. They went out of they just filed bankruptcy, and they've been
no way. That's that's iconic.
Is it Spyglass? Who's the one that did the Matrix? Village Roadshow. Sorry, not Spyglass. Village Roadshow. They were the ones who did all the Matrix films and blanking. They did some big stuff.
By the way, real quick, if there's a first appearance and you want to get that, we actually put a link to the first appearance in each one of these as well, so you can quickly check it out on Cover Price to see what it's selling for.
Yeah. Oh, they did the Joker. That's right. So they did the Joker and the Matrix films and a whole bunch of other stuff that you've seen. Like, but they filed bankruptcy. Then there was Panavision is now going under too. They're the ones that created a lot of camera technology. A lot of entertainment industry companies are going down because it's a very hard business economically to survive because films aren't doing as well as they used to. It's hard to open anything that's not a big tentpole. And even then it's a risk, and a lot of studios aren't taking chances on new stuff. And then the TV side is like everyone except for a handful of studios, like Sony is very neutral. But you have like everyone trying to make their streamer work. Paramount is still shopping themselves around and still has their channel kicking. Netflix is way in debt, and I don't know if you watched. Did you watch Electric State, by the way?
What's it about? It sounds so familiar. Is that the? It sounds familiar. I can't place it though.
So Electric State is the film with the Russo brothers, and Star-Lord, and
oh yeah. I'm sorry, that just came out on Netflix.
Yeah, and what's her name? Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah. She annoys me a bit.
And so what's interesting is that the book, and I'm blanking on the writer's name. I'm trying to look it up. What the book's writer's name is. If someone knows the book's writer's name, let me know. Apparently, this writer's beloved, and I don't know why it doesn't come up right away.
Are we going to include streamers into this?
Everything. Anything that's made into a TV show, film, video game, anything that's made into content will be in here. And if we're missing it, let us know. So I don't know. Did you watch Electric State?
I did. I got through halfway, and then the baby started crying.
Yeah, I don't know how people feel about it, but it was like compared to the book was a very thoughtful, kind of a very slow-paced, morbid kind of vibe kind of book, right? Where it goes into this relationship with robots and humans, and it's a big reflection on current society. The film was like, I mean, it was bad punchline after bad punchline. It was a bad script, and the fact that they took this script and they put $300 million behind it for a streamer, and people are like, "Why didn't you put this in theaters? Like, why didn't they put this in theaters?" It was just a series of Hollywood overspending and not reading the room. There's no way this should have had a $300 million budget.
How are they supposed to make their money back on a streamer when
you can't? I mean, the whole flu of the draw was to get people to come back to the streamer if they left, and stick around for a little bit longer, because now a lot of people jump from streamer to streamer to save costs, and hopefully that you jump back in. And now they charge $25 for a premium membership, like where it used to be $7.99 or something like that.
It's like $17.99. Yeah, $7.99 if you want ads, and it's like $17.99 if you don't want ads.
Right.
Just $10.
I mean, it's interesting because, but then you have I've watched so many of these streamer movies because I like the actors and the premises always sound good, but they always feel like half movies, like constantly. They always feel like overproduced, and they take like the most bland script and they give them nothing to work with, and they put these films out. And it's very frustrating because it's like, this film could have been amazing. And I will say that the special effects, the CG in this film that's where all the money went. The money was definitely on the special effects, which were absolutely fantastic. That's worth watching just for that.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's weird is like I'm trying to think of why they would pay 300 million to get enough subscriptions or to maintain their subscriptions. The only thing that drew people to Netflix was the Logan Paul and Tyson fight, which like stuttered the entire system. I don't know if you saw that, but so many people were watching live that the fight halfway through went dark, and you're like, ah.
What is the hell is a streamer movie? So the streamer movies are the films that these streamers make directly internally, and they don't put them into theaters, so they go direct into their streamer, whatever their app is. So that's a streamer movie. Is that there's no theatrical release. It used to be called straight to video, but that is a very archaic term.
Well, but streamer movies are usually, like you said, $300 million budget, whereas a straight to video is like, Carnosaur 5 kind of thing,
Right. And you have like a $10 million budget and you put a film up. Yeah. I mean, it is interesting on how the market has shifted. I don't know. I did watch the film, and I wouldn't say like I didn't hate the experience, but like if it's free, so it's a little easier to like, and you're working while I'm watching it, so I'm giving it like half my attention. But it's like it's one of those things where I was like, it could have been so much better is the thing. Why put so much money? I know direct-to-video is prehistoric. It is.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, real quick. I went to Bend, Oregon, and I saw the last Blockbuster, the only Blockbuster.
And did you go in? You had to go in.
I didn't go in. But all the posters were like of Spider-Man and stuff like that.
How did you not go in? I told you to go in.
We drove past like 5 times.
No, you don't drive. Then why did you go in? It's like trying to I'm trying to think of something equivalent. I don't know. I can't even think of anything equivalent. You have to go in just for that nostalgia, just to like walk in. It's like kind of like walking past.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, driving by it, we were just had such a tight schedule, but like driving past it was kind of cool enough because you're like, oh my god, and then you flash back to high school and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
So here, let's jump back into this real quick, Matt.
So anyways, we're getting into that. That's kind of the market where we're at. So it's kind of like I kind of hope that things get picked up as a TV show, like Invincible. Although Invincible has plenty of opportunities to be a live action film now, especially as it generates a following. I mean, you could really milk some of these brands if you do it right. But I always feel like TV shows are the way to go for a lot of this stuff. But
I mean, yeah, it's just sad. I remember the movie experience as a teenager was such a cool thing. Like I loved going to the movies so much. And I don't know if I'm just old and grumpy now, but like there's too many people, too much noise, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember Matt and I saw The Rocketeer for your birthday when you were like, what, 14?
Yeah, every year we went to like some videos, like Batman was one, Rocketeer was one. The other, I mean, every movie had. We had The Crow was another. It was we had some good stuff. Rocketeer is way undervalued, by the way. My wife,
here we go.
Really, I like The Rocketeer. I'm like, no, that's not true. There's other people.
Here we go. It's a great movie. It's a fantastic movie and a great show.
Hey, have you watched it? I mean, other than some green screen limitations, the movie holds up. It does. It's a fun movie. It's still a fun movie.
It is. It's a fantastic movie. Fantastic. I love it when they do historical fiction. It was like,
absolutely,
and all that.
Absolutely, yeah, totally. In terms of like. So we're filling this stuff out, so you can go by alphabet. Everything closes. Fear Agent's one of those books that keeps coming back. It's option, it's not option, it's option, it's not option. So we just had the last option we could find in here in 2022. So it's about to go into development hell pretty soon. It's just Infidel was one man. Is this development hell? This is development hell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was picked up. Oh, we got to change. We have problems with ampersands, where if you put an ampersand, it always does ampersand amp. I don't know what that is.
Just to make it, and it's a programming thing.
So let's take a screenshot of that because you can actually. I'm going to take a picture of it. Something to fix. Um, but Infidel was a cool book. That was optioned like I think the week after it was released. And that is a really good horror film. Have you seen that premise for that one?
No, it looks vampire-y.
Well, no. So this Muslim family moves into a neighborhood, and a lot of their neighbors are scared of them because during the climate of this time, it was like, post 9/11, everyone was, still sensitive to that, and so there was a lot of racism happening in this street. A lot of people were treating them, kind of giving them the cold shoulder, but there's this spirit that feeds off of racism and grows, and so it finds this neighborhood and basically starts terrorizing everything and everyone and feeding off of this negative energy. It's a lot better than how I'm making it sound.
No, I get it. And does it somehow make them more racist and more hateful and all that stuff? Is it like
I forget? It's been a while since I read it.
Well, it's in development hell, so I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. Will something's killing the children blow up? It's hard. So blow up more than it has. I mean, it's really done some crazy stuff in the market over the past years. It depends how it's produced, and it depends how Netflix will nurture it. They're known for giving up on series that get to be too expensive.
I mean, some people become fans of a show, and I don't know if you'd see me, Matt.
yeah, it's good. It's good.
I mean, I don't know if it's going to blow up, though.
It has plenty of potential to be something really big. I think it does have something's coming. What's Millie Bobby brain? What's that's Stranger Things? My God, I cannot remember names for the life.
Ginkgo biloba.
Stranger Things. I believe it does have the power to be like that next Stranger Things.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, there's always a need for that kind of Buffy the Vampire Slayer / Stranger Things /
How will that affect book values? It right now. I thought I knew. Right now, Invincible told me that there's always books that could be game changers. It depends how inspired other people feel about, like, does it bring new people into shops? Do people then go looking for some of these hard to find books? Does it turn them to fans? New fans mean new money, and new money means new sales, and that has a pretty big trickle effect. Walking Dead was one of those. I remember The Walking Dead didn't take off. Walking Dead was $100 book its first season. It went from like a $50 book to a $100 book in the first season, and by the end of the second season, it was $1,000 book. A lot of people think that this book was a $1,000 book before the show started, but no, it was the second season where it really took off. So it goes to show you that when there is big fandom behind a book, it could really make a big difference for anything.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is they did a lot of good world building with Something's Killing the Children. Like they have the House of Slaughter storyline and other so they're going to be good. It's just like Walking Dead. They're going to start doing Walking Dead, and then there's going to be the whatever they do now. I stopped watching after that.
But here's the big difference. I mean, there's technically not anymore, but when Walking Dead came out, for Walking Dead 1, there was one book. I mean, you can then argue that there was the Black Air logo, and then now if you go to it, there's literally 300 variants for Walking Dead 1. But when it came out, there was one book. And then for Something's Killing the Children, there's, I think for the first issue, there's like 30 variants. So when you have that many variants, it does hinder those books a little bit because there's so much to collect.
And Something's Killing the Children really does have a ton of variants.
Especially as the series progressed. Like every issue was 20, 30 variants, 20, 30, it depends on the.
So
maybe a little less. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Maybe it was only like 5 or 6 variants. But
so let's go ahead and start the giveaway as well, because we're almost out of time. But if you type in #merch, we'll do a giveaway, and we're giving away two shirts, and you can get a hat. Or you can get a sweatshirt, whatever you want on the website, you can get.
Oh, you're going to do anything? They're going to go for a sweatshirt. That's like $45 versus the $20.
Hey, we're generous today. We're apologizing for skipping.
You took a $40 $50 giveaway up to $100 giveaway.
You pointed at your hat, and I thought, oh, Matt was
the hat's still $20. Like it's the same range as a shirt.
Matt signaled me to do more.
It
He
up
said, more, John.
Who is this guy? You're the penny pincher between us two.
I wouldn't say penny pincher. I'm just Yeah, that's pretty fair. Okay.
So, well, good on you guys. Get your sweater, get your hoodie or your zip up. I like the zip up. I have it. I wear it literally every day, not just because it's a cover price. Actually, it's funny enough because how the jacket lies. There's a logo on the back that the hood covers. This was a prototype, and then the logo on the front is covered by it being open all the time. So you see no cover price branding on this sweater. It's just a great sweatshirt.
Yeah, and then the hoodie, which is actually $50. You can do in like a different red. Well, here, let's see. So yeah, we can choose any of the maroon. You can do a gray, which is called dark heather for whatever reason.
Maroon.
Yeah, the maroon's kind of cool actually. Yeah. But before we finish that up, just wanted to point out again. So yeah, this is something that took months and months of research for the teams in particular,
but also years in development, because I've been wanting this for a very long time, because there's literally nowhere. There's some sites that have tracked some form, like they've had a short list of books, like here's some books but a lot of them are from 8 years ago and they've never been updated. So this is like our promise is that this will be a constantly updated thing. And if you're missing something, definitely reach out. Bobby's name is at the bottom of all those. Email him what the project is. If you have an article to share where it was optioned, even better. I'm sorry,
I just read Zab. It's we know about the CP logo.
I know, right? Like we never realized it until a month ago, and we're like, that's a thing.
Like, we're not going to change our branding.
I'm not even going to get into it.
I'm not getting into it, but it was pretty funny.
And it also, if you search, it stands for cerebral palsy. For the
and so it's awareness.
So if you're against cerebral palsy, then that's on you.
I'm sending Zabit a black sweatshirt now, just so he.
That's right.
But yeah, no, this thing is really awesome. We hope you keep coming back to this article and checking things out. Again, just come to it on the website. It's right. If you go to CP content and just go to the bottom of the page, it's going to be.
Or just on the main page, you can just scroll to the bottom and it'll be in resources and how. Oh, it's in that section. Yeah, and if you're on the front page, it'll be cycled out. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so it'll always be right here. But yeah.
Well, I'll add it to the carousel tonight too, so people want to poke around it. But it's definitely a page to bookmark and just come back to every now and then.
Indeed.
Yeah. No, I mean it was fun to create. Hopefully, we'll do more of those. Also on that same page, in the resources, we also have. I don't know if we've announced that too. Is we have a convention tracker. So all the convention lists. So basically, this is another evergreen list. It'll constantly be updated. But as every month, every convention, this is organized by month. Every convention is on this list and links to their website, when they are, where they are, and how to get tickets as soon as they're available. So this is like if you're wondering what conventions are coming up, here you go. And this is constantly every year. We're going to update these.
Yeah.
And then we'll move it off. So like, for example, March, I should tell Bobby, we got to move March off of the list.
Yeah. Well, he puts it at the bottom and grays it out. So for the year, it'll eventually end the year with everything's grayed out. But if I go straight to the bottom, it's just the old stuff.
And then it just cycles through, and then we'll just come back around, and it'll be a new year for conventions. So, and if there's something that you want to add, again, if you have a convention, you want to make sure it's on this list, send it to Bobby, or send it to info at Cover Price, whatever you want to do. But yeah, these are all. We're going to start doing a lot of these more features. I know it's hard. It's not really technically a feature, so that's the catch. Is it's technically just a resource page.
Yeah.
So it's not really a feature per se, but it is it's a feature-esque resource. How about that?
Be sure to put in hashtag merch if you want some CP logo stuff. And yeah, the shirts say cover price right
Cover
underneath.
price, logo, where?
Cover price, logo, merch. All right, here we go. All right, we got 22 entries, but of course we got 42 people watching. Half the people are like, you know what? I'm too cool for cover price.
I get it. I don't want.
I have shirts. I don't need more of them.
That's right.
Yeah, but definitely type it in.
Don't you need a shirt, a bed shirt, or a gardening shirt, or
workshops,
eating ribs shirt? Everyone needs eating ribs shirt.
I will say, I haven't had a rib in a long time. That actually sounds delicious. You know what I did? I made corned beef and cabbage last night.
You're a little late.
But I saw it and I was like, damn it, I missed the boat, but I didn't have to because I'm an adult. I can make whatever food I want to make.
All right.
And now we're having it every day this week because there's only 2 of us.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's good stuff. All right. Here we go. Merch. Okay. Winner number 1. Now, when you win, email me, john@coverprice.com, or Matt at coverprice.com. Tell us the color. Here, wait, let me jump back to this one real quick. What we need you to do is we need you to tell us if it's the shirt, the logo color, and the color of the shirt and the size. So for example, you might say, oh, I want the white logo in asphalt because asphalt is cool, or navy. And I want it as, 5XL.
So are you giving away one thing now? We should do one for the rewind. The second one you could do for the rewind. So all you people can make a comment in the section, and then we could do one on the rewind so that we never do anything for the rewind, folks. And they're always like, there's always a couple guys that drop the hashtag in, but 3 days later, I'm like, oh, buddy.
Well, when would we run the rewind? Oh, geez, that's
the beginning of the next show.
Okay.
Yep.
Matt made a good point. So we're going to do one and then one for the rewind. So you guys can still enter for the next round as well. All right, here we go.
We'll run the same hashtag for next week too.
All right, there you go. Well, they have to
make sure you drop hashtag merch and leave a comment if you like. You can just leave hashtag merch and be a basic AF, right? That's what the kids say today. Is that what they say?
Do kids say stuff? I don't even know what the kids say.
That's exactly what they say. That's how.
Give me the toilet or something. I don't know. But, okay, here we go. Drawing.
Leave a comment for second round.
All right, yeah. And the winner of the Cover Price merch shirt is Jackson. Ooh, looking dapper on an airplane in a suit. Look at you, Jack.
Or it could be a car. It looks like I don't know. It could be.
Oh, it's not a car. That's definitely a plane.
Okay. All right. So. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Jack, if you please reach out to me or Matt, John at Coverprice or Matt at coverprice.com. Let us know. Hey, there's Jack. Woohoo! Good job. Tell us your size, the logo color you want in the shirt. If you want a hoodie, if you want a hat, just let us know. We'll get you one of those. Whatever you want.
Good job, guys.
All right.
Go back and check stay on YouTube and check out the Reflective with Izzy. Go to videos on this channel.
Actually, let me post it right here.
Yeah, lots of it's just fun. It's good. I know it can be depressing, but there's just good lessons built into it too. There's good lessons to kind of remember and pay attention to as new situations pop up that follow the same path. And that's the thing. It's not meant to be depressing. It is literally just a few books in the grand scope of the market from this time frame 1, 2, 3, 4 years ago. So it's not every book. It was down as just these books were these little microclimate of very hot, skyrocketed books, and then a lot of them fell. So
yeah, I mean it's
okay. That's okay.
And it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
All right. Any last words, Mr. DeVoe?
No, I got to make dinner. So yeah, we gotta hop to it. His
last words is, I got to make dinner. I got to eat my corned beef and hash. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. As usual, you guys are the best. We'll be here No, we won't be here Monday. Will we be here Monday? Yeah, we will be. Okay, because we have C2E2. We're going to do a C2E2 show. We're going to talk about all the exclusives next week. It'll be pretty fun. And yeah, check out the
Cool.
articles, and you guys rock.
All right.
Bye.